The Total Man 85 here, and I'm going to be doing a predictions video for the 2008-2009 Stanley Cup playoffs. I did not do the first round. I'm just going to go straight to the second round here. Sorry about that. But for the first game I'm going to choose is going to be the Boston Bruins versus the Carolina Hurricanes. And for this series I'm going to have to say Boston Bruins over Carolina in the 5th game of the series. Carolina, they'll definitely win a game. I wouldn't be surprised if they win 2, maybe even 3. I doubt it though, because Boston's a very good team. They beat a pretty decent team in New Jersey. I just really don't see them beating the Boston Bruins. They're one of the best teams in the league, and they're definitely proving it in the playoffs. So, Boston over Carolina in Game 5. The next series I'm going to do is going to be Detroit and Anaheim. I'm going to say Detroit over the Anaheim Ducks in the 7th game. Detroit, as we know, great team. Won the Cup last year. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again. I don't want them to. Don't take offense to that, but I think Detroit over Anaheim in Game 7. Anaheim, they did a great job against San Jose Sharks. As we know, Sharks are probably the best team in the league, but they're definitely not a playoff team. They've shown that over the years. And Detroit, they can prove they can do it in the playoffs. So Detroit over Anaheim. I think Anaheim's going to take it to Game 7. They're going to win a couple games here and there. But Detroit is definitely going to win the series. It's going to be close. I think, honestly, it could go either way, but I really think Detroit's going to win this one. Anaheim, they might win just because of the goaltending. That's the only reason. If they win, well, just because of Detroit's goaltending. That's the only way they would win. But Anaheim, Johan Hiller has been pretty good this last series. So, we'll see. Detroit in Game 7. Okay, so here we have the Vancouver Canucks against the Chicago Blackhawks. This will definitely be the closest series this round, in my opinion. It could go either way. So, it's definitely going to Game 7 either way. Vancouver has great goaltending. Chicago's had some very good goaltending so far this playoffs. So, Chicago can score goals. Vancouver can score goals, but I don't think they can score goals as well. Chicago can. So, Vancouver in the first round, they did sweep, but they played the St. Louis Blues, and it's the Blues. Like, honestly, they didn't make it from last to 6th place, but I just don't get it. They may have been very good in the second half of the season, but in my eyes, they're just not a great team. They're easy to beat. Chicago Blackhawks played against the Calgary Flames, who went on a losing streak at the end of the season. So, that series couldn't have been too hard, even though they did win it in Game 6. So, I'm going to have to say close series, but just because I'm a Vancouver fan, yeah, they're going to win the series in Game 7. Close. A couple overtimes, I'd imagine. The Pittsburgh Penguins are playing against the Washington Capitals in this last series I'm doing. This series, I'm going to say, goes to the Washington Capitals. I think it'll be a good series, two pretty good teams. Although Washington did just barely make it past the first round, I'm really surprised. I really thought Washington was going to have that easily. They obviously didn't. They had to come back from a deficit at the end. But they did a good job pulling off that series, and the Pittsburgh Penguins playing against the Flyers didn't seem like too much trouble for them. So, coming into this series, Pittsburgh has a chance, Washington has a chance. I think a little bit of a better chance for Washington. Two great players, and Washington, Alexander Ovechkin, probably one of the best players in the league, if not the best. Pittsburgh, well, there was Sidney Crosby. I'm definitely not a Crosby fan. I'm sure a lot of you aren't. Evgeny Malkin, I'd say he's a lot better. Probably up there too with Ovechkin. Not quite up there with Ovechkin, but up there. So Pittsburgh definitely has a chance. But I'm going to say Washington over Pittsburgh in Game 7.